Hello and welcome back to my next smartwatch review. Today I have the HW20 Smartwatch. Now this comes to us via Temu and their influencer program, so they put a little bit of money in my account and I could go pick out whatever I wanted. So I picked out 3 smartwatches, and I think it's incumbent upon me to tell you that up front. But I will give you my fair, full, and honest reviews here, because I don't really care if I ever do any business with Temu ever again. My priority is to give you my honest opinions on smartwatch. A lot of times I just go buy them with my own money, and by my own money I mean your money. That's the revenue generated through advertising on my YouTube channel. I'm pressing and holding the top right button and nothing is happening. I'm pressing and holding the bottom right and now it's coming on. It says it's the HiWatch Plus. If you've never seen one of my reviews, then what I'm going to do is charge this up 100% and then go wear it for multiple days and then come back with my full, fair, honest review and opinions. It's a sharp looking watch. I don't know anything about it right now. I will point out something right out of the box. The back here is plastic. The case looks plastic and it screws in via 4 little points here. So in my experience, this is going to be a cheap watch and it's probably not going to be terribly waterproof. So look out, folks, right there. There's a film on the back sensor, and we're going to peel that off so it comes in contact with the skin. A lot of people miss those and then they wonder why the watch doesn't work. This looks like it has electrodes in addition to diodes, so this might be also doing some sort of bioimpedance measurement. I don't know. There's a protective film on the screen, so I will peel that off. All right, and good looking watch. I would say it will look good on the wrist, at least my wrist. It comes with a charging cable. It's going to be a magnetic charger that will click onto the back via magnetism, and then it's got a user manual that is small and kind of hard to read. But there you go. I'll come back with my full, fair, honest review in just a few days, but it's just going to be a few seconds through the magic of editing. All right, so let's take a spin through the watch before we go through the app and I come back with my full, honest thoughts and opinions. First of all, the dial. It's not the highest resolution dial I've ever seen. You can see a little bit of pixelation in it, but it gets the job done. It's fairly easy to read, and you can just swipe through the various watch faces here, and there are many more in the app. This is kind of the one that has become a favorite of mine, but it's really hard to get the face that you want to stay there, because every time you swipe left or right, it's going to change that watch face, which I find a little awkward. In this particular watch, to get to your settings, you swipe up and you can change your various menu styles. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. But you have some features in here. If we go back to the main screen and press that top right button again, you have blood glucose monitoring. And I'm going to let this take a measurement in real time. And I'm going to say right at the onset here, this is not a medical device. Do not think this is accurate, because it's not. Do not trust any health decisions to such a non-invasive blood glucose smartwatch, especially one in this price range. This is selling now for about 20 bucks. So don't trust it. It's not a medical device. If you have any sort of issues with blood glucose, use a real test strip, see a doctor. Don't trust this watch. Okay, this is giving you your blood glucose level in millimoles per liter. Now this number is not going to look familiar to many of you. If you multiply this number by 18, you will get to the units that you are used to, and those are milligrams per deciliter, okay? So it's just giving you a number in different units. So you just multiply this one by 18 to get the milligrams per deciliter. We have an EKG, ECG function here. I'll show you this when we go into the app. I don't know how it's making this measurement. It does have 2 electrodes on the back, but it doesn't instruct you to hold or press any sort of metallic region on the watch. So again, not a medical device. It's an interesting measurement, I suppose. You can get into your settings. Here is are your messages. I've sent some messages and they seem to work fine. You can pull in your messages when tethered to your phone via Bluetooth. So you can get your messages pushed right to the watch if you so choose. You can control the music on your phone from the watch if you so choose. You can look for your phone from your watch when tethered via Bluetooth, and there's some various other settings here. Remote camera shutter, stopwatch, countdown timer, and I think I covered just about everything on that screen. So if we swipe up now, we'll expand the icons that were in that center circle are now on the outside circle. You can choose to sync this with Facebook. You can reset the device. Here's your music player again. You've got Twitter or X. Nope, that was your messages. What are we getting at? Sorry. Here's your weather. It can pull this in when tethered to your smartphone, and this will actually store that in there. So that's kind of nice. But it just gives you current weather. It doesn't give you any sort of forecast with upcoming days. This will also take your blood pressure. Again, not a medical device. Don't trust it. Don't trust this thing to make any sort of health decisions. And you might hear me say that a couple more times. It's not a medical device. Don't treat it as such. But it will take your blood pressure. I should say it will report some number. It will generate some number. You can get into your running modes. Okay. You can get your progress meter for the day, your estimated kilocalorie burn. And here we go through the cycle. All right. Press that button again. You can get into your fitness settings, estimated kilocalorie burn, number of steps, and estimated distance walked. Here is blood oxygen saturation, SPO2, and I'll flip this over in the end here, and this only has a green diode, okay, no red diode. You know, this is kind of the cheaper end of the budget range for a smartwatch in terms of that. You can get your continuous heart rate in beats per minute, and you have some phone book or address settings. You can use this as a phone dialer, okay? And I would say if you're looking for maybe your first ever smartwatch, or you're giving one as a gift to a child who thinks they want a smartwatch, and you want them to have Bluetooth calling when tethered to their phone from their wrist, I would say this is a decent watch. It's got a speaker and microphone built in. I've made some calls through it. It's okay. When you're on the call, though, there's really no way to adjust the volume on the watch. You have to do that from the phone. But this Bluetooth calling does work, all right? So I think that's one of the strengths of this device. Let's go look at the app. Our app here is called HiWatch Ultra. That's HiWatch Ultra. And when you're connected, you see it's the HW20 smartwatch we're connected to. You can choose your message pushing, SMS, call reminders, WeChat, QQ remind, Facebook, Twitter, Line, whatever that is, WhatsApp, Instagram, alerts, Skype, Kayaker Talk, I've never heard of that, LinkedIn. Those are the notifications you can push over to the watch. You can set alarms. There's a sedentary reminder, remote shutter to take a picture from your phone when tethered via Bluetooth, raise to wake. You can turn this on so when you lift your wrist, the display will come on. You have some dial settings here, many different dial styles that you can install, okay? I would say there's not a ton of really wonderful ones. There's a lot of ones I personally don't like, but you'll probably find at least one or two in here that you like and you'll use. You can reset the device, you can unlink it, other OTA upgrading. Okay, if we go to the home screen, this gives you your comprehensive view of how many steps you have in for the day, your estimated distance walked, estimated kilocalorie burn. That's far too low for me today. Your health rating, okay, I get an A, an 88, all right. Body index, I don't know how it's calculating that, but don't trust it. Body fat rate, 16.4. This has to be doing this through the bioimpedance somehow. You know, it's giving you these numbers, and that's pretty cool that they at least are starting to look forward with some of these features. Here's my blood oxygen saturation. And here is my sleep tracking from last night. It gives you your time engaged in deep sleep, light sleep, and awake times. But I can't, for some reason, there we go, now it's working. You can go back and look at your previous days and see how you slept, and it gives you a quality report on your sleep. So that's pretty basic sleep analysis. Here's your ECG, EKG, and that's what all you get on the front page here. You can go into motion tracking, of course, and when you're tethered to the phone and you have location services enabled on your phone and you take that all with you on an exercise outside, it will give you better GPS coordinates and tracking based on the location of your phone. The watch is not a GPS watch. Let me get into the EKG settings here and start a measurement. I'm going to let this go in real time, but this is really crazy to me. I don't know how it's making this measurement. And you'll see on my phone here on screen right that the spikes should be going up. Sometimes they go down, and I don't understand that. I've only ever seen that with EKG watches where you wear it on the opposite hand and you tell it, you just basically wear it on the hand you told the thing it's not on. But then it'll go back up again, and it will emerge. I'm at 55% right now. It will emerge with an EKG strip chart essentially, but it gives you no analysis as to what that means, and it will record it. So you really need some sort of cardiology training to even know how to interpret these lines. But even with that, it's not a medical device, so you really shouldn't trust it. But it is kind of cool that it has this feature, even though I don't believe it. Here we're nearing the end. Here you have that readout. There's your EKG. It's given me a height, weight, and a heart rate. Heart rate it's getting from the watch itself. Height and weight I entered in, but I guess I didn't update it in a while. I weigh a little bit more than 65 pounds right now. But that's it for EKG. You just get a strip chart. Who knows what it all means. So I'll flip this on its back and you will see this is just a plastic case back here. It only has green diodes. And here are your electrodes for the EKG, and I assume some of the other measurements. Blood glucose, it must be using the green diodes as well. Let me get into some measurement here. There's your blood glucose measurement, and you saw there for a brief second the green diode blipped. But it knows it's not on my wrist, so it won't take that measurement. I don't think this is going to be a great seal. It's only rated IP67 waterproof, which essentially means it can handle light splashes. This is not a waterproof watch by any stretch. This plastic casing is kind of on the cheaper side. The back cover, I should say, the case itself seems to be some sort of metal alloy. I'll give it this. It is a good looking watch. It's got a 1.28 inch screen. It's got a 200 milliamp hour battery. It'll do blood pressure, SPO2, heart rate, sleep tracking, ECG or EKG, blood sugar or blood glucose measurements or number generations. It's selling right now on AliExpress for $19.48. I would say value for the money if you don't really ever plan on taking this out to an outdoor environment where it might get wet. And if you really just need, I would say, Bluetooth calling features when tethered via your phone, it's a good economical option. But if you're looking for a tough, rugged watch for the long haul, I would say save that $19.48 and invest it in something a little bit better. Here you see the speaker, and there's a microphone built in. You know, it's an okay value for the money for a starter watch, or like I said, you give it to a younger person to get them their first experience with a smartwatch. But you can do better. Spend a little bit more, get a little bit higher quality, but for 20 bucks or less, I would say this is a solid value. All right, there you go. Thanks for watching. The only way I can keep these reviews going is if you interact with my channel in some way, and that means subscribe, leave a comment, like this, tell others. This channel is primarily about my kayaking adventures, and you can go check me out at davethekayaker.com if you'd like to see that. But I do these smartwatch reviews just to monetize this site, to support my YouTube channel, and I've got more in the queue. So, you know, stay tuned, and I'll have some more smartwatch reviews coming later this week. Thank you so much for watching.
When you want an extraordinary racing kayak made in the finest American tradition, or maybe just own a piece of American kayaking history, you want a West Side Boat Shop kayak, now available from davethekayaker.com. West Side Boat Shop kayaks. The tradition continues.